What if the real appeal of smoking has almost nothing to do with nicotine and everything to do with comfort? Well, today we're going to break down this powerful psychological ritual that makes smoking so pleasant and, as you can imagine, so incredibly hard to quit.
So let's start with the central question. Why is smoking so pleasant? Well, the source material we're digging into today argues that the answer goes way beyond the simple chemical hit of nicotine. It's really about a ritual, a feeling, and this profound sense of relief. Our source kicks things off with this really powerful metaphor, the idea that a cigarette is used to smoke a hole. It's a fascinating concept, right? It suggests that smoking isn't just an action, it's an act of filling some kind of void. But what exactly is this hole?
Okay, so to really understand the ritual, we first have to get a handle on what this hole actually is. And this is where our source makes a really crucial distinction. And here it is. The argument is that we need to move away from this poetic, kind of vague idea of a hole in the soul and get into something much more concrete, a hole in comfort. See, this isn't about some deep flaw in a person's character. It's about a tangible lack of solace, a real deficit that gets carved out by the relentless pressure of chronic stress. In other words, smoking isn't an attempt to fix a broken person. It's an attempt to patch a very real hole in their comfort.
So, if smoking is all about filling this hole in comfort, how in the world does it actually work? Well, the answer, according to our source, is all about a carefully constructed and deeply personal ritual. And this just lays out the process perfectly. Think about it. It's this whole multi-sensory experience designed to pull you out of your own head. First, you find a quiet spot, then you pair it with a drink that's already designed to change your state, like the buzz of coffee or the warmth of wine. Then you've got the flicker of the flame, a tiny, mesmerizing focal point, and finally, that first deliberate inhale. Every single step is an intentional action, building on the last, creating this seamless transition into a totally different headspace. In fact, the source even compares that first inhale to almost a Qigong breathing practice. And that's so telling, isn't it? This isn't just some mindless puff, it's a controlled, intentional breath that's designed to completely break the cycle of stress and pull you firmly into the present moment. So, all of these steps in the ritual, they're all leading up to this one singular peak experience. This is the moment that the entire process is designed to achieve. And here's the entire purpose of the ritual: to get to this one state, to be completely anchored in the present. In this moment, everything else is just supposed to fade away. All the anxieties you have about the future, the weight of the past, poof, it's all just temporarily suspended. And this is the visual payoff. As you're watching that bluish smoke drift and then just dissolve into the air, it becomes this incredibly powerful metaphor. Our source describes it as literally watching your anxieties and your distractions dissolve right along with it, leaving behind nothing but a feeling of, well, blissful peace. But hold on, there's something even deeper going on here, something just beneath the surface of all that relaxation and mindfulness. What is the smoker really giving themselves in this carefully crafted moment? Now, this is where things get really interesting. Our source points out that this profound shift in feeling happens almost instantly, way too quickly for it to just be the slow chemical journey of nicotine hitting the brain. And that suggests that the effect isn't just chemical, it's primarily psychological. It's a state the person has actively created for themselves. Our source actually gives this a name, an injection of happiness. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a moment where a person gives themselves permission, they authorize it, to feel good. In that one brief window, they get to access a version of themselves that feels strong, independent, and uniquely happy. It's literally a self-administered dose of well-being. And all of this, it brings us right to the core conflict, the very reason this habit is so incredibly difficult to break. It's what you could call the smoker's paradox. This lays the paradox out just perfectly. On one side, you've got the ritual's incredible gift, a moment of true solace, a super effective stress manager, that literal injection of happiness. But on the other side, you have the habit's undeniable cost, a lifetime of harm that ironically eventually becomes a new source of stress. Our source suggests this is exactly why so many anti-smoking campaigns totally miss the mark. They attack the long-term cost, but they completely ignore the profound and immediate benefit the ritual provides. For someone just trying to get through the day, giving up their most effective coping tool can feel way more dangerous than some abstract threat of a future illness.
And so that leaves us with this final, really challenging question. It pretty much encapsulates the whole dilemma, not just for smoking, but for so many of our coping mechanisms, right? It forces us to look beyond simple good versus bad thinking and to really understand the complex, deeply human needs that drive our behaviors. What do you do when the very thing that helps you get through the day might also be the thing that shortens it?